Are you looking for a quick and easy way to thread a needle? As quilters, we are always threading needles, and I find that I spend way too much time threading my needle rather than just sewing. Hi, I'm Mary from Joyful and Mary Quilting, and there are many ways to thread a needle. But in this tutorial, I'm going to present 4 different methods I discovered on my quest to find an easy and quick way to thread my needles. So here are my 4 methods. The first method is our traditional eyeballing approach, where we take our needle, we trim the end of our thread, and then we lick it and we send it through the eye of the needle. Secondly is one of these silver needle threaders. Third is the fish needle threader. And fourth, and my favorite, is the Clover Desk Needle Threader. So here goes. Whether you're a seasoned quilter or you're just starting out, mastering needle threading techniques can make your quilting journey smoother and so much more enjoyable. For most of us, we begin with the clip the end of our thread. You clip it at an angle with a good sharp scissor, then we lick it, and then we send it through the eye of the needle. Now, that works well if you can see the eye of the needle, but it doesn't always work well for some, especially if you're using a very small needle. This is a simple technique if you have poor eyesight, shaky hands, or if you're using delicate threads. This doesn't work very well. So let's move on to something a little bit more precise. Method 2. Method 2 is our silver metal needle threader. Now, this is a handy tool. It's just a thin wire loop and it's attached to this flat disc. So let me show you how it works. What we do is we take this wire loop and we send it through the eye of our needle, just like this. Now, that works well, again, if you have a needle that has a pretty good size eye, and also if you can see it. That's the issue, because what we need to do then is we need to take the end of our thread, and it needs to go through that little area right there to the right of the metal disc. So I've put it through, and then I'm going to take my needle and just pull it off of the wire, and we have the needle threaded. Once again, it works fine. It's an easy way to do it if you can see it. If you have eyes good enough to see that wire, if you can see the eye of your needle so you can send the wire through. Sometimes I think, I don't know, maybe I just need to thread the needle if I'm going to go through all this work to try and find the hole of the needle, send that thin wire through, and then thread the needle. So again, if you have shaky hands or if you have poor eyesight, this isn't really going to be helpful to you in the long run. The third method is this little fish needle threader. Now, let's take a look at this. This is kind of fun. It looks like a fish. We want to make sure that the fin is up here at the top, and then it has a little tiny hook right here that's going to be inserted in your needle eye and then pull the thread out. Once again, you really have to be able to see this. It's very, very small. Now, supposedly, you can take the needle threader, there's a slot right here that your needle will go through, and then you can run your needle down until it finally catches. And that's when the hook is in the slot. Okay, so I've got that there. Then I'm going to take my thread and place it over the hook. So it's over the hook now. And as I pull it off, my needle is threaded. So once again, that works. I had to put my glasses on to see it, and it still was very, very small. But I have a threaded needle, as you can see, so it did work. Now, some suggest that you use this on a sewing machine. You can actually put the fish hook into the eye of your sewing machine needle and do the same thing. Now, my sewing machine feeds this direction, so it was really hard to see. But if you have one where the needle feeds through sideways, this is probably a good little option, because once again, you can just run that hook down your needle until it goes through the eye of the needle, place your thread over top, and pull it through. So the fish needle threader and that little hook works well when I have a needle that has an eye large enough to fit the hook through the needle, which I have done. But what I've found is when I'm using smaller needles, especially the betweens, maybe the size 10 or size 12, especially betweens, the eye of the needle is just too small and the hook will not fit through. So this does not help when you have a very tiny hole or eye to send that thread through. That's where, last but not least, we have my favorite, the Clover Needle Threader. This is a really popular choice among quilters for its durability and its ease of use. It's so simple. I find that there's no squinting, there's no poking, there's no licking, there's no clipping, there's no guesswork. It just threads your needle, and it threads any size needle. Now, as I said, the other tools that we used, especially the silver tool and the fish tool, I could not use a needle that had a small eye. It had to be the larger eye needle, where with the Clover Needle Threader, I can use any size eye. So I'm going to show all three. The first one is the one that I used originally with the other two needle threaders. This is a large eye needle. It works for pretty much everything that I do. So I'm going to take the needle threader. It actually has everything labeled on it. We have a cutter if you're going to cut your thread. The needle slot is labeled. Then the thread slot is labeled. And then this lever here is what you push in order to actually drive the thread through the eye of the needle. So we want to remember you always put your needle in with the eye first. Be careful because that means the point is sticking up. You'll put the eye in the needle slot with the point sticking up. Then I'm going to take my thread, and where it says the thread slot, I'm going to lay the needle right across that. You want to make sure it's down all the way to the bottom, but you don't want to pull it tight. I just hold my fingers on there just to make sure that I've got it held in place. Then you'll take that little lever, push down, and when you pull it up, the thread is in the needle eye, and then all you have to do is just pull it out, however you're going to use it, and your needle is now threaded. So this, for this size needle, it worked really well, really easy. But does it work for the smaller eyed needles? So let's check. The next one I'm going to show you is actually a between needle. Now this one is usually used for quilting. This is a size 10. It's a little bit thicker than what a sharp needle would be, used for applique, but it has a very, very small eye on this needle. So I'm going to take that eye, once again be careful because the point is going to be up, and you're going to place it in the slot where the needle goes. Then once again, same thing, lay my thread over the thread slot, hold it in place, and then push down. And that's also threaded nicely. And this was that between needle with that little teeny hole that the fish threader and the silver threader did not fit. So this worked really well for this. But now the ultimate test is going to be that sharp needle. It's very thin, it's long, but it has a really tiny hole. So again, same thing. The eye of the needle is going to go in the slot. Be careful of that top. And then we're going to place our thread right over the thread slot, push down, and look, it's threaded as well. Isn't that amazing? This is so simple. I can't believe I ever tried to use these other tools when I had this one available in my sewing supplies, and I never used it. And there you have it. 4 different methods to thread a needle for quilting. Whether you prefer the traditional approach or opt for one of these handy tools, mastering needle threading is going to enhance your quilting experience. So I am always trying to be joyful, but I will always be merry. I hope this helps.